So one of the pens I got at the Philadelphia Pen Show is this noisome object. It's not quite noisome, but as you can see, the lever is on the bottom side of the pen. I think the section is glued into the barrel, which is not helpful when you're trying to fix a pen, but it might be what Waterman was doing to sort of hide the fact that they still had a lever going on. Luckily, the pen was only clogged, so with dried ink, so I haven't yet worked on putting a new sac in the pen. When anyone, even me and other pen repairmen, there are times when an attempt to repair or store a pen ends in tragedy. And sometimes it's better if a pen is working fine, or if you're not ever going to use the pen, just leave it the way it is. It's not going to get any worse. So anyway, this one seems to fill perfectly fine, and I will use it as is until I decide something else. What I like about the pen, this is a little tweeter, is on some papers, it's the fine line it makes is just, it's still making a line. You just don't see it because this paper allows the ink to just barely sit on it. But beautiful, beautiful fine line it makes. And I'm not pressing down at all. I'm just letting the pen, I'm actually in some ways lifting it up. I mean, it's making a thicker line now. I guess if I write fast, it's thinner. But I'm almost lifting the pen off the page to make a line. And try it on a different paper now. The famous Pierre Gustafson test. Waskey uses the famous Pierre Gustafson test. Kind of a difference between how he uses it and how I use it is he presses down more than I do. Usually when I do the test in pressing down and unpressured, and the speed test is meant to see if the nib gets ink from the feed, and quite often the ink doesn't work. Fast enough. It doesn't flow fast enough. So anyway, I've got this pen. Do I want to keep it? I'm not sure. I may sell it because I might, I have other pens that I would probably use more than I would use this one. I'll probably keep one of these in my collection as an example of sort of one of Waterman's last gasps in manufacturing of pens. I probably have, just look. Where's my Waterman drawer? I'm looking. I'm still looking. Okay, this is also one of their last gasps here. This one has a standard nib. It's a Sky Writer, Waterman's Sky Writer. So let's name a pen after the competition, sort of. Standard nib, but the same era as this. Screw cap. Let's see if I can find. I'm trying to find one that's. Look at that. There's another one like that. I have this particular. Look at them all. How many of these do I need? So this drawer has this era pens that have standard nibs, not the taper right kind of nibs. And I certainly don't need all of these. Do I? Look at that AP. This is one I'll keep. I like pens that have engravings on them. Nice nib on that one too. LH. What kind of nib is this? Is this an accountant nib? Might be. So do I keep this one and get rid of this one? I think that's a good idea. I don't need two, so this one I will sell. Put that in the sale bin. Do you want it? Let me know. Okay, I'm looking for more of that era. There's another one. '14 CT. So this is English made. What does this say? Where's my loop? My kingdom for my loop, or a loop. Made in USA. Okay, so it has an English nib. Sweet nib on it. Scrunched up sack. Fix that. How did that sack get so scrunched? Anyway, I'll fix this and sell this. Has a really lovely nib, by the way. Good for drawing and calligraphy. But I don't need it. So fix that. Keep moving. No. This one. See, here's another gray one. Accountant nib. Okay, this one says account. A friend of mine wanted to buy an accountant nib from me, and I said, well, I know I've got many. So this one I can sell because I'm going to keep this one because of the AP on it. I like the initials. So sell this one. Put that in the sale bin. Find other ones. Come on, let's keep moving. We got bills to pay. Here's another one of these. Oh, see, this has a steel nib. This is really at their nadir. This one says Skywriter, so I'll keep that one just because it says the name of the pen. There's one in red. Keep that one. This is a set. Keep that, since it's a set. Okay, now find the other ones. No, no. Yes. No. Just looked at this drawer. Yes. Oh my God, I bet dozens of the damn things. This one. Okay. The reason I just looked at this was just to find out if do these have screw-in sections, or are they glued, or what the hell is going on with them. Okay, come on, keep going. Oddly enough, I guess I don't have that many of these that have that kind of a nib. So I guess I'll keep that one. Oh, here's another blue one. See, this nib looks like it's just gold plated as well. Could I get a photon in my house? Yeah, this is just a plated nib. So, yay. Anyone have anything to say to me or not? It's a really yummy nib on this thing. Keep that one. Keep this one. Does this say accountant? It does say accountant. Well, it says account. What does this say? This is the one I was just writing with. Keep this one out since it's full of ink. This one, what am I doing with this one? Am I fixing this one or keeping this one? I think I'm keeping this one. Yay. So, yes, these all go in the other drawer, the drawer I just had out. Put them back. So now, fix this one, right? Am I fixing this one? I forgot. Yes, I am fixing this one. So I'm going to be going to the California Pen Show. If any of you are going to the California Pen Show, look for me there. I'm the tall, handsome one. No, I don't. Who knows what I'm going to look like then? the Philadelphia show, I was the guy with the black eye because I had fallen on my face the week before, and I was not a pretty sight. And but what I'm doing, I'm bringing a zippered or a little folding case full of vintage pens that will have sort of sweet nibs on them for artists especially, and for calligraphers perhaps. Not really for collectors. Most of the pens I have for sale are modest, meaning they are just too common or too small or too dinged up or too whatever for a collector to want to buy. But they do have really yummy nibs. This cap, for example, a collector would look at this and he'd say, there's some plating wear on the cap. I'd say, yeah, bite me. It doesn't make any difference. I'm selling this to someone that actually uses the pen. I'm not selling it to you. So just go, move along. There's nothing to see here. Can I actually get this in the... So, Nicola Pang, my friend Nicola, is going to be allowing me to put some pens on his table, and so I may hang out with him. The reason I'm doing this, one of the reasons I'm doing it, is I'm just trying to get rid of some of the pens I use, that I don't use, rather. And there are a lot of people out there now, a lot of sketchers, a lot of journal keepers who love flexible nib pens. And a lot of people have flexible nib pens for sale. There's nothing wrong with their flexible nib pens, except they charge more. And sometimes for a very good reason. They're selling a pen that has that's a larger pen and maybe in better condition, has sterling overlay, has all the bells and whistles that anyone would want, but you're going to have to spend a couple $100s on them rather than, $50, $60, $70 from me. Now I have pens that I'll sell for that much too, but the ones that I fix to sell to you and you and you who are going to write with them, I try to sell them as inexpensively as I can. But part of that is you'll get a pen that has some plating wear on the cap, or some teeth marks down here, or is slightly discolored, or might even be missing a clip. There's a pen customer of mine that I said, there's a problem with the pen is it's missing its clip. He doesn't care. He uses the pens at home at his desk to write letters, and he's a very good calligrapher, and he doesn't need to have a clip. So, woohoo! I mean, I know you want my mailing list of people that'll buy stuff like that, but I'm keeping that to myself. Now, the people that buy pens from me know what they're getting from me. They're getting a good workable pen that passed through my hands, and if I say this is a nib that you're going to like, chances are I'm right. And you can go to someone else's table and they'll say, this is a nib, you're going to love this nib. And they may not know. They might be right, but they more likely than not won't know what you want. And even more sort of strangely, they don't even know what pens they have. That's not true of all collectors. I mean, people that don't use pens, collectors that don't actively use pens and don't actively sell to people that use pens, if they only sell to a collector rather than a user, they're not the expert you want. I might be the person that could help you better select a pen for you. What's wrong with this pen? There's a big old dent right there. What else is wrong with this pen? There's no nib. Well, I'll put a nib in it. I'm not going to bother with the dent. You can make up a story. This was sitting in Grandpa's pocket when he was at the St. Valentine's Day massacre, and a bullet bounced off his pen and he saved his life. It sounds like a good story. Okay, I need to find a wall number 2 nib or an Eversharp Skyline nib. This is a wall. What is this? A 6? The hell is that doing here? That's not a 6. It's a wall 3. Oh, this is the one that has a big chip taken out of the. There's like a chunk of iridium. If you look at the top, there's a big chunk missing. You look from the bottom, both chunks are there, but that's not going to work for me. This is another water number 3. Now, what's weird about these pens are sometimes 2s and 3s are interchangeable, but I think this is a number 2, wall 2. So don't go away. Let me see if I can find a wall number 2 nib. Oh shit. Okay, it fell on the floor. Where is it? Where is the nib? Broom. Broom out of the way. Found it. Found it. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. That's a nail. I'll bring my flashlight out in a second. Wall number, is this a number 2? Yes, number 2. Right, perfect. It is a number 2 nib. But I need to find that before I forget. I need to find the other nib that fell on the floor. So let me see if I can, well, bye.